What's up, Leopold? Welcome back to another part of Final Fantasy 16. And the last part, we got smacked with the hideaway, and we're basically against Kupka at this point, fighting against the Titan. And we were just kind of figuring out what I kind of wanted to do here. I think I'm going to take Rook's Gambit off and put this on so we can reduce the time for Rebirth Flame. Mainly so that when we go between groups of enemies, it's there. I'm not sure if I want to save up for this just for the extra power of damage, or if I want to go and save up for this so we have 2 attacks that are a big amount of damage. This is single target, so this will obviously do more damage to bosses than what this would. Also, it came to my attention, see that stars? Does the stars stand for magic or stagger? I thought it was magic at first, but then I was heard someone say it was stagger, and I'm like, oh, maybe it's stagger. I saw stars and thought magic. Yeah, I instantly thought it was magic rather than stagger.
My favorite
but that makes more sense.
One
Who are you?
Think.
One would think my role was abundantly clear by now. I offer to you your guiding light of knowledge, that of matters military and political, both past and present, that it might illuminate your way ahead. For it is only by understanding what has come before that one might steer one's way to a brighter future. Your role, meanwhile, is to assure that I remain furnished with as much information on the state of the realm as your people can muster, in order that I might continue to appraise the disposition of the great nations and those who rule them. And of course, to pay attention during my lectures. It would not do to appoint the storied Ninetails as your tutor, only to disregard her expert advice.
I admit
when I took up my professor's bonnet and began teaching at the University of Canver, I did not think for a moment I would be one day Count Sid the Outlaw among my pupils. But nor did I imagine that my fellow educators would have designs on my life, and we both know how that ended. Was it been a year already? Such is the power of an overly inquisitive mind, I suppose. One is wont to uncover the which others would go to great lengths to ensure remains hidden. This is kind of like how our Octopath... If you haven't checked, alright guys, we are playing Octopath Traveler, and this is actually a very relevant topic to how Octopath Traveler is going. We just finished, we'll finish like Cyrus's intro to his story, and that's basically the same thing, that people wanted him dead. Or people wanted them to go away because he wanted to share knowledge. Were it not for our mutual friend having come to the rescue, my curiosity would likely have proved fatal. But instead, I was not only saved by granted a new lease of life, as personal tutor to a band of outlaws, no less,
reputable fellowship
than anything in the academic world, I assure you.
My beloved homeland.
The crossroads of Philistia, where one only has to stroll the streets to hear news of every far-flung corner of the realm. Its mother crystal yields more shards than any other, and its lands even now remained untouched by the blight. It is blessed country indeed. Or at least it was until Sandbreak elected to invade and establish a new holy capital upon twin-sized heretofore neutral shores. It pains me to see the land I love so changed, and even more to know that I did not predict it. I knew the Emperor Sylvester had designed on the Dominion, but to abandon Oriflame, the seat of the Holy Empire since its inception, seemed too audacious a move even for him.
I do wish our lawsman would consider acquiring some more contemporary volumes. I tire of the classics.
Yeah, well, let's go talk to Tomb. This is a really nice hideout. I really like this. This is stunning. And like I said, I'm pretty sure like Final Fantasy always has a way to get an airship in there. Need to always figure out a way to put one in. Where are we going? Where is he? I was looking for him earlier. I was worried in case I wouldn't be able to get to read lore points. Oh, look at you having your own office and such. This is fancy.
Lawsman Harpocrates.
Now that is a name I have not heard for a long time. So long, in fact, I had half forgotten it was mine. Welcome home, Clive. You were missed, as always.
I believe this belongs to you. Vivian asked me to return it.
Ready? Our resident scholar devours books faster than young Tet does lemon tarts. Would that I could do the same, but alas, I no longer possess the necessary constitution for such indulgence, either in words or tarts.
Oh no, not the
That
tarts.
said, I have continued my search for mention of the creature you encountered at Drake's Head, but without access to the great libraries of Oriflamme or the Dominion, I regret that I have been able to find little and less. I am sorry.
Please, don't apologize. I'll send word to our associates, see if they can't furnish you with more books.
I fear it is not more books that I require, but the right ones.
Yeah.
Mayhap we look in the wrong places. There are still libraries to the north.
I'll see what I can do.
You are too kind. There are not many in this world who would indulge the whims of a tired old historian.
Not too tired to go filching Kupo nuts, though. Always got a pocket for him. Nicks him off the Moogle.
Hush now. We all know there's no such thing as Moogle.
What do you mean? What do you mean? There's one floating about.
The twins seem well.
Aye. Yet they laugh far too little for one so young. The loss of their parents weighs heavy on them, however well they hide it. Titan took much from us that night, from some more than others, and the wounds that remain, they are not quick to heal.
Which is why we must give them all the time they need.
That we must. Just as I must give you the time you need to recuperate. Good day, Clive.
Good day.
So, if I get this
I'll
right,
be back soon. I should get some rest while I can.
if I'm not correct in saying people can still use magic and probably be born with magic, but they can't do it in Oriflame because obviously the crystal we broke the crystal, so like it's not here anymore. So for a big chunk of it, people can't use magic, probably, right? Because like we couldn't use it in the old hideaway because it was Americans still use magic thing. I thought you could only use magic. I thought the reason we were breaking the crystal was so that people couldn't use magic. Oh, the crystals aren't able to. I can't see why that would be better for bearers to break the crystals then. I thought it took away their power, so they became normal.
Solving everyone's problems. It looks good, Clive. Goes well with the scowl.
I'd had that brand for so long. I'd forgotten what life was like without it. What it was like to be myself. And it's all thanks to you, Talia.
The scalpel did most of the work. Ah, before I forget, a rider was here with a letter from Gav. Otto left it on your desk.
Not a stolus. All right, I'll have a look.
And then you get some rest.
Yes, I realise it's to stop the blight because the crystal takes in the aether, which is basically we're gonna say the aether is like the planet's life force, like how it is in Final Fantasy VII, right? And it takes it in and it causes it to shrivel up, and the blight happens, which is basically what makes the land deserted. But in places where the blight is affected, people and bearers cannot use magic, right? Because that's why they couldn't use magic in the hideout. So I thought the whole plan was to stop people being able to use magic so that they weren't treated differently. I suppose it just stops the planet dying, which I guess is fine, but I can't see how that would be a better life for bearers at all, because then if they kept, let's say we all broke all the mother crystals and they were all gone and the only people who could use magic were bearers and dominants, surely they would just try to kill us all. That seems like a horrible idea to me. Where's the Moogle? I saw it somewhere. Oh.
Have you been to the toll? I hear a new ship.
I've never known it for like Moogles not to be able to be seen by people, because like in all the other Final Fantasies, people can see Moogles. It's trying to stop spread of the blight. That's because the area of the blight has no aether for them to use the magic. I suppose. Hello. Report letters and other important missives addressed to Clive are delivered to the reading table in his chambers. New messages are always arriving, so make it a point to check and reading the desk upon returning to the hideaway. The Republican army marches on the Empire at Twin Side, and the men of the Rock have been summoned to their front. I was gonna say I wanted to see if he still had his eye, but they did actually make it, so he hasn't got his eye. To the front. Something big is brewing, I reckon. I'll see you done to wear up my return.
What does Gav have to say?
The Republican army is on the march, leaving Randalar in Hugo Kupka's charge. With him and his men occupied with the defense of the capital, they're less likely to trouble us.
Good news, then.
It's more than that. This is our chance. The one we've been waiting for.
But look how far we've come. All that we have here, our friends, the hideaway, are they not cause for joy?
5 years. 5 long years. If I could only command this power I've been granted, we might have achieved so much more. But each time I reach for it, it's like something is holding me back.
Summoning an icon exacts a price not easily paid.
Yes, because you
Your
fucking
body
never do
knows
it.
this only too well. It's merely trying to save you from yourself.
And every burden I cannot bear falls to you.
What,
This
does she
mission
do
of
anything?
ours has made me question everything I thought I knew. But one thing has become abundantly clear. The crystals take more than they give. In exchange for momentary comfort, we must endure a lifetime of pain, war after war, loss upon loss. And now they rob us of our very homes, leaving naught but dust and ash. But you're trying to change that. We're trying to change that. And to me, that's no burden.
I know, but...
Try not to forget. We're only here because Joshua gave us a second chance. It would be a pity to waste.
So do
such
they
a
know it was
precious
Joshua?
gift.
He did. He was there. It wasn't an illusion. I heard him call out to Ultima.
I hope we get a little bit more context on how he
If Joshua is
survived
still
and stuff.
alive, he'll be looking for that thing.
Do you think he will ever come back?
I know he will. And we must be ready when he does. To a world without mother crystals.
We've only broken one, haven't we? I mean, there's still like, what, 4? Was there 5 mother crystals? How many mother crystals were there? Oh, meanwhile. I also want to know who she is. Any information on her? Attended to Joshua, thank you. Companion and protector of Joshua Rosfield, dominant of the Phoenix, as loyal as she is dangerous, her blade is ever as ready who might mean to for her master ill, and her tonics ever at hand to heal the sickly prince's hurts. Joshua addresses her by the name Jote, but it is unclear whether this is her true name or another Dominant of the Phoenix and a former heir to the ducal throne, Joshua is thought to have died at the hands of the second Icon of Fire during the disaster at the Phoenix Gate. However, he somehow survived, appearing before his brother once more 13 years later in the inner sanctum of Drake's Head, and saving Cliven from Ultima's advances by calling upon the power of the Phoenix to seal the being within himself. Yeah, I mean, I'm curious to who she is most of all. It just seems really random that he's got someone accompanying him. I don't want to know who she is.
And so the North is lost.
Like, I think he's probably just survived because the Phoenix had regeneration
The blight
powers.
spread ever more swiftly, Your Grace. But this is far, far worse than any could have imagined.
It is only a matter of time before the twins are no more.
So what exactly are
The
the
world
twins?
marches ever closer to its end, and here we chase shadows. Tell me, brother, are our efforts in vain?
Master Clive, a moment, if you... my apologies, I didn't mean to
I don't like the game shipping them.
intrude.
Not
It makes
at
me
all.
unwell.
We were just
Makes me unwell. Especially because at the beginning of the game it was very, 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 very clear on the fact that they saw each other as brother and sister. After it had failed that his hideaway was reduced to rubble, at the hands of Hugo Kupka, Clive took on both his predecessor's name, the role becoming the second Sid the Outlaw, and leader of the re-established resistance. Together with the other survivors and their new recruits, he continues his mission to emancipate bears and rid the realm of the Mother Crystals. What does emancipate mean? Free? Probably just means free, right? Dominant Shiva and trusted confidant of Clive, leader of the new hideaway together, they continue Sid's mission to emancipate bears to rid the realm of Mother Crystals. While Clive for sure liked her when they were younger, they hinted at that. No, they didn't! No, they didn't! When do they hint it? I've seen the beginning of the game 3 times, right? 3 times I've seen the beginning of the game. And not at any point did I have the hint of Clive fancied his sister. No. The night cutscene? What do you mean the night cutscene? When they went to put his hand on her back. That doesn't indicate to me that he fancied her. It just, you can be caring to your sister and put your hand on her back. You can hug your sister. That never... To me, at no point did I have feelings of love and like that kind of. It was clear to me he liked her and called that they would be a love interest. It doesn't. No. No. To me, it didn't indicate that. I saw them quite as brother and sister. Chief Steward of Clive's Hideaway, Otto continues to serve the same role as he did under Sid, being the primary person in charge of all the monies and information coming into and going out of the hideaway. Established under the leadership of Clive Rosefield, who took on the title of Sid and his former leader's passing, and Titan's destruction of the old hideaway, here a community of like-minded individuals from across the realm has gathered to build a place where people can live and die on their own terms. Like its predecessor, it is built within fallen ruins, deep within the deadlands of Central Storm. Decidedly unlike its predecessor, however, it is located in the centre of the lake, Benimia, across whose waters our invading enemy can easily be spotted long before their arrival. Yeah. That's fair. I knew from the point they'd be together. I don't know if that's true as of yet, but it's my guess. Well, I just want to say the game is very, very sick for that then.
Speak freely, Otto.
It's Martha, from the inn. She's gone missing. Anyway, I'll be in the mess when you've finished.
Very well.
I don't think they should have made it a romance thing. I don't agree with that part of the game. If the game is explicitly writ in the lore that they see each other like brother and sister, they then shouldn't decide, let's make the people who we've just told you see each other as brother and sister a romance option. That's incest, guys. Let's not. This game really is becoming more like Game of Thrones the more I play of it. If it put in the lore thing like, oh, although raised like brother and sister, Clive has romantic feelings or anything like that, but it didn't, guys. It didn't say shit. Like, look, come on, we can go look at the thing, right? Hey, yo, Tomes, wanna hit me with lore of when they were younger, please? I know you got it somewhere. Tomes, oh Tomes, show me your lore. Also, here, have the lore
Is there
and level
something
up.
I might assist you with, Clive? I have a few new notes that might interest you.
Yep, go on. Oh, love the level up noise.
I have quite the find for you today.
Okay. I don't need the new
You
entries.
wish
I want
to study the tomes?
Yep, persons of interest. Here we are. Oh, wait, no, it'd be her, wouldn't it? It would be Jill we need to look at. Born in apprentices of the Northern Territories, Jill was made a ward of Rosaria after her home and incessant raids were quelled by the Duchy. She was raised in the Rosalith capital alongside Clive and Joshua, who came to love her as a sister. Sister. When she waved her brother's farewell on the day they departed for Phoenix Gate, little did she know the misinformation awaited both them and her. Right? I don't think it says anything about Jill on his stuff. Yeah, it doesn't say anything about Jill. It does not claim anything of Jill. But it says quite clearly on Jill's that they loved her as a sister. Right? Right, game? You wrote it yourself. And now you're gonna double back and tell me they're shagging? No. No. That disgusts me. I don't like it. I don't think it was necessary. If you want to give Clive a love interest, by all means give him one, but don't make it the woman he grew up with as a sister. I refuse it.
What do we know, Otto?
Some lads from the Imperial garrison in Rosaria started a fight over at Martha's Rest. Blood was spilled, bones were broken. The usual. But somewhere in the middle of it all, Martha vanished without a word to anyone.
It's not about how you see it, right? You can say fair enough, but I don't see it that way. What do you mean? The game has literally put it in text, in lore, that they saw each other as brother and sister. You can't see it any other way, because the game has explicitly stated that. To then change that to that they are romantically involved is disgusting. Because it's not like, oh, you thought they saw each other's. No, the game has literally said they saw each other's brother and sister. So to then change it 13 years later, oh, they haven't seen each other in 13 years, therefore they see each other and they're attracted to each other. Even though 13 years ago they were raised for, what, how old was Clive? We'll say he was like 15, she was whatever age she is. I don't know how much younger she is. So for however, we'll say that she got brought here at the age of 6 or something. Her age of 6, right? We'll say 7 or 8 years they were raised together as family. Just because, say, let's put it this way. Let's put it this way. I say I had a younger brother on my dad's side or something like that, and I've never met him. But just because I've never met him doesn't mean I'm gonna shag him when I see him. But it was like, oh, but I haven't seen him in all these years, so it's okay. It's not okay. And just because they're not blood related doesn't make it better, guys. They were raised as siblings. End of story.
And that ain't like her, Clive. Something's not right.
You think this was planned?
Of course it bloody was. Ever since Eastpool, the Empire's been tightening its grip round the Duchy's balls. They've strung up everyone who's ever set eyes on a runaway, claiming they're traitors to the Holy Throne, conspiring to restore the House of Rosfield to power. And now it sounds like the bastards have turned their attentions to the pallbearers meek enough to stay put. Naturally, old Martha could see the way the wind was blowing, complained that it was getting harder and harder to take bearers in.
And now she's missing. If she's fallen into the hands of the Empire, we could be next.
Couple of curse breakers are already on their way to the inn. They should help speed up the search. But if this is as bad as I think it is, you might end up having to save their asses and all.
Usual.
Don't worry, Otto. I'll make sure everyone gets home safe.
So, on the way to find the curse breakers, new quests are available. The curse breakers can wait. There's a quest down here. Wonder if there's quests around the realm for us. Where's the person that told? Actually, yeah. Where's the person that told me about the? She'll tell me stuff about the state of the realm. This is the orchestrating role. Who's the person? Mind that we had a person that would tell us where quests were in the world. Where is he? I have been enjoying the game, but like I said, just this stream, so the last 2.5 hours of the game have went down for me because I'm not enjoying the whole fact they killed Sid off. I'm not enjoying the fact that keeps time skipping us. I'm not enjoying the whole that they're pushing Jill and Clive as a relationship. I don't like the fact that obviously they haven't killed off Joshua. That's fine, but so that's fine. That part's at least that they've not killed him off. I thought it could have been that, oh, they've seen him and now they've killed him again. They've not, so that's fine. Hi.
Damn blighted bilge.
Is everything all right?
Aside from the holes in my hull, everything's roses.
The lake water doesn't agree with it, then?
That's one way of putting it. And unless you got some grand scheme to suck the black from the lake like we do in the atrium, that slurry'll keep eating away at the timber like young Tet does our lemon tarts.
Why is it with everyone in lemon
Pigs
tarts?
might stave off the rock for a moon or
How much
so,
does Tet like these lemon
assuming
tarts?
we had any pitch, which we don't. Not any bloody more. Doubt the old tub's got more than a dozen runs left in him.
What is that? What's that symbol?
Of course, Obolus. Your skiff is our only means of reaching the mainland. Without it, we'd be lost.
Well, I'm glad someone round here sees it that way. To make pitch, you need pitch trees. But in case you haven't noticed, live trees are one of the 1,000 things sorely lacking in the Deadlands. Now, I'm not so unkind as to ask you to fell a faraway forest and lug the logs back here to the mere, which is why we'll be needing a suitable alternative. And it just so happens I once heard the thorny pitchers of Curltail Falls cover themselves in a sticky wax to trap birds and beetles and whatnot. Might be enough to tide me over.
Sounds easier than felling a faraway forest. That's for certain.
Okay. What is this new symbol? That's different. Can I see the... Can I see the symbol on... What's happening? Why did it do that? That was weird. So it's not Gil. Was it? Was it Gil? No, there was two different marks there, right? It didn't look like Gil. Maybe it was. I don't know. We're gonna end off the part here, guys. Thank you so much for watching. We'll be back in the next part, continuing on with the side quest first and then the main story, where we're gonna have to go look for Martha and all the curse breakers who have went on their journey. So thank you guys so much for watching. Make sure to put that like button, subscribe, and comment your comments, because there are comments. I'll see you guys next time. Bye!